Alright, boys, remember, cute and cuddly.
4 penguins, 1 zoo, 1 annoying lemur. This is a show about really cool penguins just start the day doing different missions and different adventures. Really crazy stuff.
And this is one of the few times I actually like the show more than the movies, no offense, because the Penguins of Madagascar, the show, it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was, especially with recognizable voice actors.
But before we get into that, yeah, this show in particular, yes, getting introduced to Nickelodeon back in 2010. Yeah, this show was amazing.
Actually, it was out in 2008.
Yeah.
Well, when I first watched it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was going to specify that. Yeah.
But like, do you agree with my statement, or do you have a different opinion? Like, prefer the movies or the show?
Well, the 2014 movie, it was okay, but I agree with you that the show is better.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree too.
So yeah, of course, when Christian explained for penguins, we got Skipper, the leader, Kowalski, the brains of the operation, Private, the adorable one, and Rico, the crazy one.
Yep. Rico is very questionable.
We're not there yet.
I know. I just point that out, but
yeah, what Christian basically explained earlier about their missions. So first, before they start any missions, of course, they have to act like actual penguins, although they are, to kids or adults at the zoo, because that's their new setting. And while this is happening, they had their neighbors with King Julian, Maurice, and Moritz, and we get introduced to a new character named Marlene.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the few shows that still had it its day, basically being one of the best Nickelodeon shows out there.
Of course. It's my childhood growing up.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of great moments here. Do you also want to explain the episodes?
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
The Love at First Sight and episodes all at the same time.
Okay, so one of the episodes. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll bring up one of the episodes. So there was this episode where King Julian lost his crown and basically went to the sewers, and it was taken by the Rat King.
Yeah, that was my last episode I saw today.
Yeah, I just say that was wow, especially the ending when he had a spare crown, and I was like, you just went through all that trouble for Marlene to just find that out. That was wow. And speaking of another King Julian episode, actually this all revolves Maurice, when King Julian had to take was basically going crazy, but more crazy than usual. So he had to get taken away to feel better. So Maurice had to basically take over leadership, but the berries he was eating, it made him more crazy.
I saw that on DVD.
Yeah.
And boy, of course I'm not gonna mention him, but the actor that played him, man, he can do really good with how he's going crazy and stuff. But
kind of reminds me of his Joker laugh.
yeah.
And then of course, we call it. Yeah, there is also surprising ones where they had new zoo animals. There was these 2 badgers that Marlene befriended, but they were going too extra with her. Yeah. Let's see, another classic one. Oh, do you remember Rico having this doll?
Yeah, I do. Even though it has been a while, and I can I meant to watch it, but I was I ran out of time.
That's alright. But of course, Rico has this doll that he saw his stats to. Of course, at first she didn't have a voice box because until he saw this commercial about how his doll was getting voice boxes, but of course he couldn't afford one because everybody was buying one. So basically, they took a voice box from Private's pony and put it on her. Oh yeah, of course there's the race with the lemurs and penguins.
Don't you mean do you either mean the race or capture the flag?
Hold on. No, the actual race.
Okay.
Yeah. I do like that episode though. And of course, where'd it go? Oh, you remember the squirrel?
Which one?
The one was voiced by
Yes, FC. Yes, you're right.
One more time?
Okay.
You know that squirrel they always meet in the outside?
Okay, like you have to be specific because I said like either Fred, the guy, the actual name Fred, after a certain somebody we might know,
Yeah,
or
yeah, Fred. Because I know there's another squirrel. His name is Red Squirrel.
yes.
But yeah, what do you think of him?
Oh yeah, it's just the type of personality that Fred does, where he voices these types of characters. So like, how would you describe this type of personality?
Well, he's just calm, doesn't really think that much, And surprisingly, he gets his way a little bit. He doesn't mean to, but it just happens by accident. Let's see another episode. Oh yeah, there's this day where it's called King Julian Day. Basically, everybody had to be nice to King Julian, and Maurice was trying to convince them, if you be nice to King Julian, I'll give you this whole, candy. And they wanted the candy so bad. Yeah.
I wonder what the episode is. I saw on YouTube where Julian and Maurice switched brains.
Oh, that one. It's been a while since I saw that one. But speaking of switching places, there was this one episode where Skipper and King Julian switched places as like leaders.
Oh, I bet that was a handful, especially for Skipper being around with the lemurs.
Actually, no. He was making it easy for Maurice and Mort. Unlike King Julian, making it hard for like the penguins.
Wow. And what was the episode where Kowalski discovered the giant toothbrush?
I don't remember, but I just, when we always bring that up, it's like really sus.
Oh yeah. It's one of those dirty jokes.
Do you remember this one where Mort became all strong?
Mort became strong? How?
So basically, Kowalski and the things were working on something. One of his inventions, did a big blast and turned Mort to like really big and strong.
Oh dang.
Yeah. And then, of course, in the ending of the episode, Private by accident got flinged into the invention Kowalski was working on, and he became strong and told Mort to stop it, and he shrank back to like his little size.
Wow.
Another episode I remember is when Marlene got a new roommate.
Oh, yes, that was one of the even though the episode was kind of a little bit mixed for me, I just hated Rhonda. Oh, she's so annoying.
Who's Rhonda?
Yes, she was like in the episode we're talking about roomies where Marlene got a new roommate. Turns out to be freaking Walrus. She just like became really obnoxious and.
But the ending of that episode was really surprising, revealing that she had one of Kowalski's inventions, and it turned out that she was working for Dr. Blowhole.
Yes.
Ooh, plot twist.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, have you seen the 1 hour special with Skipper like losing his memory, and it's with Dr. Blowhole and the return of Alex?
Oh, so that's what that was about. And I was wondering, why was Alex a spirit?
Because since Skipper lost his memory, he was supposed to be a guide to him.
Oh, okay, I see.
But it was so cool to see Alex again. Though he had a different design, I don't mind it.
Well, what's more noticeable, they had a different voice. It was Wally Winger that was voicing him. They're Ben Stiller.
Oh yes. Let's see. What's another good one?
How about the first episode with Gone in a Flash, where since Maurice got tired, got really fed up with having to deal with Julian, and they fight over this camera. It flashes, and it causes Julian to think that Maurice is stuck in the camera, but it turns out that Maurice is just left to be alone.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember something like that. But it's like similar to this other episode I watched about Maurice that they were going to a computer, right? And they saw this printer coming out, and there was paper, and it said Maurice only had 24 hours to live.
Oh.
And it turned out to be not talking about Maurice the lemur. It was talking about Maurice and a worker that worked at the suit. And it didn't say the full message. It said, Maurice, you have 24 hours to live. To vacation, basically. Huh. Wow. Maybe you guys saw this. Remember the Halloween episode where like Skipper turned into like this whole freak with toilet paper?
I did not.
Bro, that was epic.
I'll be able to check it out this Halloween.
Oh yeah, do you remember the episode where they got another zoo animal and it turned out to be a snake?
A snake?
Yeah. And we call it every time, like, they're wondering how the snake is keep eating the people. So we call it, there's a vent to his habitat basically, and he goes towards it and he snatches up the lemurs along with Marlene, and it gets really confusing. And what was so funny about that is that the snake was not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be in another zoo.
Oh, wow.
Ever seen the one where Marley, whenever she goes to the outside world, she turns to a wild beast?
Yes, I do.
I think I have. I may have forgotten.
Yep. That's the thing. Don't let the otter out. Because it actually happened in another episode, the one with the badgers. Once she's out, oh, hell no. Just go back inside. Let's see. You ever seen any of the Christmas episodes?
There's one I forgot what it was about. I have it on DVD, but it's been a while.
I see. Just think of another one. Oh, do you know the character Officer X?
Yeah.
Officer X, no.
So he's a recurring character basically, and he knows the penguins could talk, and knows that they could do all these stuff, and he just wants to get them in trouble. But every time he tries his best, he fails.
So let me get this straight. They can actually understand the penguins.
I mean, he first saw them do these wacky inventions, and like karate and all that, and he was getting suspicious.
I see.
Yeah. What was another dude? Oh, you remember this? Okay, I'll just say this one. So there's this one where a lot of kids were visiting from a school trip to this zoo, and there's this one kid that saw the penguins, hit somebody basically, and he was writing this note to tell his teacher. So basically, the penguins were just trying to get that book back, but every time he sees the penguins, he tries to tell his teacher, but doesn't believe him. But at the end of the episode, she got a hold of his book, but the penguins knock her out.
I thought they brainwashed her.
There was 2 endings to that, actually, surprisingly.
Huh. So it's basically a boy who cried wolf situation.
No.
Not really, because he had evidence that they could do all these abilities.
Like if it was Boy Who Cried Wolf, he would have lied about it first, and then it would actually come true. Duh.
This is like the teacher didn't believe him at first. That's why.
It's like first believing like someone is crazy, but actually turns out, oh man, they were right all this long. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm. You remember the 2 gorillas bada bing?
Yes.
Of course. They're basically too dumb of the series.
Mm. Yeah, they're really, advanced characters. I wouldn't say really smart, but, they get really peeved. I remember this one episode, what do you call it? What was it? They got some kind of it was, instead of getting bananas, they got plantains, basically. And King Julian wanted it so bad that he actually ate it. Marlene actually caught him eating it, but convinced her to eat it as well. The next day, the girls got so mad they started chasing King Julian and Marlene to the city. Any other episodes you remember?
Nah. Oh wait, there's one where Private's uncle makes an appearance.
Oh yeah, I did actually see the episode 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and the fact that they would think that he's one crazy dude, but in reality he's actually a secret agent.
Yes. And we call it. What was his name? Hold on. Do you remember the other penguin that had yellow hair?
Oh yeah, that was voiced by CB and about the red squirrel. That's all I really know about him.
Yeah, but he always makes an appearance here and there whenever the red squirrel does. We're gonna say thought he was a ninja at first when I was a kid, but just noticing that he's just he's just too rough. That's why. Do you remember the one with the alligator?
Yeah, about that one when I was like, oh, so this was way back in season 1. I've been far away from this show more than I thought.
And there's also one with this koala. Basically, he was trying to tell the penguins that he can't really be up at the day.
Oh.
Yeah. And do you remember this one with the cats?
Oh, right. When the penguins got so fed up with the lemur's antics, they decided to just go to the moon. But it turns out they didn't really go to the actual moon.
There's even this one episode, there was this raccoon dressed as Robin Hood, and I was like, wow. And I was really surprised who he was voiced by. I was giving you the hints. RP.
Yes.
Yeah. That was really cool. And that's about it for me. I know I have more, but that's about it for me.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. Well, the ones that I got had a good time getting some memory back. Operation Plush and Cover, where there were these Mort dolls, and Julian was getting kind of a little bit jealous and decides to just have the skunk spray them. And the real Mort, he decided to just. Well, he didn't want them to go away, so he just got shipped away to a factory, and it's up to the penguins and Julian to save him.
Wait. Okay, I have one last one. Do you remember that poisonous frog?
Yes.
Yo, dude, that frog, just one touch of his finger and you're going down. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's all from my side as well. Casting characters.
Okay, so before we say the cast, let's give it up for the first guy in hand. Yes, who is the voice actor for Skipper?
Yeah, Tom McGrath.
Yeah, I gotta say, he's a really good, director, producer, and animator for this big franchise, DreamWorks.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like the top role for Skipper.
It's cool because he's one of the
that didn't make any sense.
Oh, okay. No, I was about to say he's one of the few people to return in the show from other than the movie. That's what I liked.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, I gotta say, for over the years, his Skipper, he makes Skipper a good leader. Sometimes here and there, it can be unnecessary, but it's still funny. I just like Skipper's funny moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
For him, I give him infinity. Just thank him for making a good franchise.
Ditto.
Of course, and Skipper's that type of leader that needs to get the job done, or unless something happens.
And next up, we got Jeff Bennett voicing Kowalski.
One of my introductions to Jeff Bennett because of him.
Really?
Hmm.
For me, it was Dexter's Laboratory.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I like this version of Kowalski. No offense to the actor that played him in the movies, but with Jeff Bennett's version of Kowalski, he makes him sound more smarter and intelligent. I just like the way Kowalski acts towards the show.
Yeah, it makes him sound a lot more more personality.
And you first?
Yeah, so I agree with both your statements.
Yeah. For his with Trails Kowalski, I give him infinity as well.
Yeah.
Our next one, we got James Patrick Stewart, who played Private.
Yeah, this was a little bit surprising because I honestly thought it was the same dude who played him from the movies, and I was just okay because I got introduced to this guy when he voiced Buck in the video game of Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Well,
that's cool.
Yeah, you did tell
and
me
the fact that his middle name is Patrick and then Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I caught on to that in 2021. I was like, damn, that's really look at you.
And a cool fact that he voices a character named One-Eyed Wally in Amphibia.
Yes. And he also took over for voicing the president from Monsters vs. Aliens, the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this was my full introduction to him. I say his portrayal as Private really good. And surprisingly, him with a character named Joey the Kangaroo.
Right. Yes.
I just love how he could diverse with the accent with going British and then going to Australian. I like it.
Same here.
For his portrayal for both characters, infinity.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Okay, now we got the big dogs. We got John DiMaggio voicing the crackhead himself, Rico.
Yep. He is known for giving the penguins what they need because he has a bottomless stomach inside of him because he eats. Oh, that reminds me of one episode because he actually swallowed a bomb and then the zookeeper lady actually gave him some medicine and he couldn't get it out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, a really surprising role from John DiMaggio. It's one of those roles where he doesn't talk that much. Although Rico does talk, but crazily. But it kind of reminds me when John DiMaggio plays Snitchel. Rada. Exactly. And of course, with Rico, he doesn't have that much actors that when he played in the movies here and there. But to me, John DiMaggio will always be Rico.
Same here.
Agreed. It made it a lot more popular.
But other characters he played was Bert the elephant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then one of the gorillas.
Yes, it was Bada.
Right.
And he voiced another penguin, not the one we were talking about earlier. His name was Hans. You know him?
No.
I do.
Alright then. But other than that, John DiMaggio, with his talents, from other episodes of him just voicing minor characters, it could be funny. I just give him infinity as a voice.
Well, of course, because he's a dadgum classic.
Alright, next up, Fresh, talk about Danny Jacobs.
It was another surprise since I thought Sacha Baron Cohen returned as Julian, but to turn out that this was one of the many times that voice actors can substitute for celebrities. It's pretty shocker because, well, you can either have a perfect impression or just make it your own. But Danny Jacobs, he proved to be like a very awesome King Julian in his own right.
Yeah, and he surprisingly matched it so good. And not all. He voices King Julian, he voices other works, which I'm not going to mention, but he did other projects.
Wait, other than King Julian, he also voiced Roy the Rhino. Have you ever seen that character?
I think I have, but I don't know him that much.
But just spot on with the original. I just whenever you hear King Julian yelling, you can hear Danny Jacobs' real voice a little bit. You can hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. But other works, I got introduced to him was in TMNT 2000 where he plays Snakeweed.
Yes.
He voices Snakeweed. Ah.
Yeah, that was really surprising. Another shocker, but kind of upsetting, was in Teen Titans Blah, where he plays George Washington.
Oh, I know which episode that is, though, where Robert wanted to be president, and he went back in time to get George Washington, and he's making him look bad.
Yeah, and I believe, he did voice a character, I believe, in the Arkham games, or was it another game? I'll just go back. But yeah, he was actually in Madagascar 3, where he played the circus master.
Oh, 2 Julian voice actors in one movie.
Yeah, it turns out he was also the singing voice for Julian in that movie too.
Nice. And he was also in Madagascar 2, where he played one of the tourists.
Wow.
So he must be really studying up, to do the voice. That's really cool. So yeah, in Batman Arkham Asylum, he played a character named Victor. Do you know him?
No.
Victor. Does he have a last name?
The last name is ZSASZ.
Oh wait, yeah, that's Victor's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know who he is. If you're wondering why he has scars all around him, because every time he kills a victim, mainly women, he draws a scar around his body with a knife.
They're tally marks.
Tally marks, but still. And from what I learned in the Telltale's Batman series, if he gets a tally mark without killing anyone, he'll go into a rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Is it because I'm numb? I'm not gonna say.
No, because I was paying attention to Amazon. That's why I didn't expect you to come back.
Well, we're talking about a zoo, not an Amazon sponsor.
Oh my.
That's in the other movies. Come on, dog. But for like Danny Jacobs' performance as King Julian, spot on, Infinity. And I like how Fresh, compare him to Big Winger from Poe.
Yeah, that was just from the tribute from What's His Face, but I mean, I guess it was still worth it.
Yeah. Alright, next up we got Kevin Markinson taking over for Maurice. Yeah, his version of Maurice is more funny.
Yeah, and I just, like I mentioned earlier, for the episode where he took over as leader, like as King Julian, and ate those berries. Man, Kevin Markinson did those gibberish really good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And your side first?
To be honest, with in the movies, I would say in the first two movies of Madagascar, that's where Maurice, even though he does kind of get a little bit of like irritated with Julian nowadays, but they can still be cool with each other. In this version, he just seems a bit much more much more like fed up with his antics, even much more, because in Madagascar 3, you know that scene where it looks like Julian kind of like died? You can see him like growing a smile, which is like, oh, okay, so this is... So
Maurice has a dark side.
I mean, can you blame him? I mean, King Julian has like put a lot of pressure on Maurice for a long time, so you can see how he feels.
But still, though, I mean, but I gotta say, like, no offense to like Cedric the Entertainer, who I got introduced to with this freaking comedy special way back when. Like, just Kevin is just better at it.
Well, I like both.
Well, yeah, same here. But I gotta say, yeah, Maurice, good character. Another character, of course, he played one of the other girls, Bing, and he played a flamingo called Pinky.
Fitting.
Yeah. But Maurice stands out the most, because Maurice does have his moments where he can't take anymore and, just endures it, but great character. I give him a 50.
Yes.
Of course.
Alright. Another returning actor, Annie Richmond.
Yeah, what I hate is things to just change, because when I was just doing some research, just like I just do most times, and when I saw Mort's species, it said that he was a bush baby, but now it says he's a mouse lemur, which turns out to be, okay, like, so which is it?
So what's a bush baby?
It's a type of lemur?
Yeah. But... again, I was really surprised that him, along with others, returned to the movies to the show. I still love his performance more. He's more to be very energetic and the yelling part. I was like, yes, let's do it.
Yes.
Well, of course, he's like, and no one can replace Mort. Is like the best one.
I mean, there was two other actors that played Morts, but sure.
Oh.
Yeah, there was Steve Riley Baker and Matt Nolan.
Oh.
Yeah, but again, with Andy's performance, can't match it. I give him an affinity. I was really shocked to find out that he was actually an elf.
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah, he played one of the co-workers in the office.
Huh. Wow.
Okay, next up we got Marlene, voiced by Nicole Sullivan.
That was my true introduction to Nicole Sullivan.
It was same with me. This along with the Secret Saturdays.
That too.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that even though I did watch a little bit of Kim Possible like way back when before, so I'm pretty sure that's where I got introduced to her, so it's a little offish, but this is my official introduction too.
Kim Possible as well. And yeah, she's like one of my latest favorite voice actors, because her voice is very iconic and recognizable.
And yeah, also noticing from live action like the King of Queens.
Oh yeah, because she's the one. She's the caretaker for Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and she's also my introduction was her in Meet the Robinsons as Franny Robinson.
Great one. And she was also in this show called Window and Vinny. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
No. And
Yeah,
she's also in a movie called Buzz Lightyear's Darkman Adventure Begins, and a show itself called Miranova.
Of course, yes. And she was also in one of her other iconic shows, was Clone High. Another one was DC Supergirls 2019, where she plays Supergirl.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Clone High?
Not really,
No,
but it did kind of interest me.
I seen a little bit of the clips. I'm like, Jesus.
I mean, is it a bad show?
What? No, it's a good show. Like, it's made by the guys who made Collaborated Chance of Meatballs and Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's kind of wild. That's like what I like about it. It's funny and wild.
Okay. But to the character herself, so Marlene is basically the type of gal that doesn't agree with a lot of the Penguin's plans and stuff.
Yeah, she tries to be the voice of reason at times. You know, she doesn't really want to do it until she gets pressured. Like the one I told you about with King Julian and the Plantains. Yeah, that was not really good, but I do like the character.
Yeah. She's like one of my favorite characters ever, so not much about to say. What about you, Fresh?
She's adorable, but I do like her sass and her just trying to be, yes, what you said, the voice of reason here and there. But she still is a good friend here and whenever.
And fun fact, when she's in wild mode, when she's outside, she's voiced by T. Bradley Baker.
Yes. But yeah, this Infinity.
Of course. And yeah, I can't wait to see more works for Sullivan. And
Yeah.
next up,
Wait, hold on. Before I say that, although yeah, that is true, but it was kind of sad when she had to leave as Supergirl.
oh, yeah,
Yeah. Remember that movie they were doing with Teen Titans, Blood, and DC Supergirls and crossover?
Oh, right, that did
That was a
happen.
lot. That was like one of her last times voicing Supergirl, and then she had to leave, unfortunately.
Wow. Well, her latest one is the 2023 Clone High.
That's
Well,
not
because-
the...
Well, it's alright though. Alright, next up is Mary Shear, who voiced Alice, you know, the zookeeper. And I was really surprised she was voiced by, Freddie's mom from iCarly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That was a big turnaround. She's
And-
also in Invader Zim.
Mm-hmm. And she's also in Hey Arnold, where she voices Susie.
Oh, wait, that was her this whole time?
Yeah.
So, who's Susie?
Oscar's wife?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But her portrayal as a zookeeper, you know, if you look closely, she does look like her character a little bit because of the eyes and the face texture. Do you agree?
Nah. I don't see it.
Alright, blind ass, we'll see. Next. But she was also in Bunked.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, remember she played Gladys, you know, the original Ken counselor. You know, who
Well,
basically-
I don't watch much of Bunked. I watched a few episodes when I used to go to a friend's house a few years ago, back when my dad was still alive, but yeah. And what do you thought about this character?
Okay, so she tries to keep the zoo maintained as possible, but, you know, it's usually when, you know, something goes wrong, it's usually the animals, but you can't really blame them if they're doing missions and whatnot. And then apparently, you know, that messes up the zoo in bits.
Yeah.
But she's an alright character. I gave her a
Same as you.
7.
Alright, and now,
Okay.
yeah, one of the chimpanzees, the one that can actually talk. But yeah, with Mason just being like an intelligent one, just like Kowalski, but, you know, he actually translates for his friend Phil, who can't talk, but it's really cool he does it for him.
Yeah, the fact that he can understand his sign languages.
But yeah, for him, I give him, I've got to say, yeah, also Infinity, because I like how he returned as well.
Yep.
And, you know, other favorites I like from is Gingy from Shrek and the Lurch from, you know, the Addams Family animated movies. Yes, I did. Here's an aspirin, Dark Side. Now you guys sound like we don't know that.
I don't know if you heard, but apparently they're gonna make a John Wick video game.
Call it. Did you heard? Oh no, no. I don't know if you heard it, but I recently watched this clip from Tina and Blah, and apparently Black Manta made an appearance.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, and I was really surprised who his voice came. I was like, is that Phil Lamar? Because it kind of sounded like him, but it was JB Smooth.
JB Smooth? Okay, I was not expecting that. And the fact that we didn't do an ornamental of Black Manta yet.
Well, this is back in 2022.
Oh, okay. And of course, we wouldn't have JB Smooth as Black Manta, but since they did that, of course they would have some like JB Smooth voice, something like that.
The next character we have is Dr. Blowhole, who was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes. Of course, I have no idea that was Neil Patrick Harris.
It was a really surprising role. Like, one of the best villains he's played. It's funny and really iconic.
I know. Especially that laugh he does. And he can only do it if he's, like, fed a fish. Because, I guess the way his throat is, I'm guessing, but, yeah.
But, truly seeing him in that 1 hour special with Skipper and Alex, yeah, that really proved a lot. And Neil Patrick's performance as a villain, other than the music maestro, of course, was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to give him Infinity. Good job.
Yep.
Alright, next up we got Fred Stroller as Fred the Squirrel.
Yep. Of course, my introduction to him was Open Season 2, and live action was Everybody Loves Raymond as Professor Gerard.
Yeah, that was the same with me. Everybody Loves Raymond. Other media I got introduced to him was in, what was it? Handy Mandy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty. I also got introduced to him in Superhero Squad where he plays Malcolm.
Oh.
And he was also in Harvey Beach where he plays the librarian.
For me, it was Little Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he's a little man. And I'll probably shout the name plays a character named Ralph.
He made an appearance on Drake and Josh.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, go ahead.
And King of Queens, there's an episode, and there's like a Thanksgiving special or something, I don't remember. But Johnny went through a drive-thru at night, and you could hear his voice through the drive-thru.
Step up.
Let's go back. Okay, so I'm just going back here. It's gonna take me a second. Okay, okay, now I'm good. So the next few characters is Tara Strong, who voiced a mother duck and her ducks. I remember this episode why she was there because the mother duck and her ducks were afraid of the pond they're in because there was a big fish.
That's it.
It was vicious. So, Christian, you know reptile species? You know when they have that light on top of their head.
Yeah.
It was more. It's like big, vicious, sharp teeth, and it was like attacking. So basically, they had to go in a submarine to catch it.
Oh, so it's like an angler fish.
Yeah. But for her performance in that one episode, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Take a word for it.
Alright, Fresh, let's talk about the Rat King.
When I first did discover him, I was like kind of a little bit disturbed because even though he does kind of look kind of awesome, I was like, what kind of steroids has he been taking?
Exactly.
He's been taking Arnold Schwarzenegger steroids.
But it was really cool to find out who actually voiced it. It was Diedrich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually. I mean, I think I saw an episode where he appeared in it, but I didn't realize that was Diedrich.
But the kind of voice, it kind of reminded me of his performance as Tim Evans.
Yes.
But I give him. Oh no, go ahead.
Which is fitting because they're both muscular and they go off.
But yeah, I both give them a 10 out of 10. I just wish we could have saw more of him.
I agree.
9.
Next one is Roger, the alligator I was talking about. He was voiced by Richard Kind.
I didn't know he was in this show.
He was. He met the penguins when they were in the sewers and he found them. Yeah. I only saw the episode once, but my true introduction to him was Toy Story 3.
Oh boy, there's a lot that I got just to him. Like Bugs Life. Well, of course, mainly Inside Out. That's how I know him best.
Same here.
The 90s Tom and Jerry movie.
Okay. But yeah, this is a minor character here and there. Really good character. I give him a 9 out of 10.
Depending, because he's like one of the greats.
10.
Alright, next one. Max the Cat, who was voiced by Wayne Knight.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot they voiced him before.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I gotta say, his performance, whenever Wayne Knight does these kind of characters, it's just like the yelling and like his, just how like sarcastic the characters could be, but in this occasion, it was going all out.
Oh yeah.
Ayo. I also give this character a 9 out of 10.
Cool.
And there was also Will Friedle. He voiced this sheep named Randy.
I didn't know Wilford was in the show too.
Yeah, so basically he voices this sheep. Basically he was getting irritated of the kids, poking at him, basically taking all his, fur out and all that. So basically the penguins were trying to help him go to the zoo. But they were like, wanted to go to the zoo because finding out that farmers taking out their wool.
Oh.
And he just became a little bit of a recurring character. He appeared like in 2 or 3 episodes. But I give him a 7 out of 10.
I'll take your word for it.
And there was Rhonda. Yes. I actually know the actor that played her. She was in the Drew Carey show.
Yeah, I did research to know about him already.
But yeah, the character she played, the walrus, yeah, she was annoying as hell. Especially stinking up like Marlene's water. It was like, oh my god, you farted in the water.
Oh my god. I mean, sure, people fart in the water like a jacuzzi vanity, but I mean, come on. You have to respect her boundaries.
Yeah. For her, I gave her a 1 out of 10.
Well, the way you describe her, I'll give her a -4.
Alright, next up, another thing we're talking about is Buck Ruckgut, voiced by Clancy Brown.
Yep.
So, any memories about this character in particular?
Not much.
Travis uncle, or is this someone else?
That's another penguin. This penguin, yeah, he was like the military like kind of penguin, with the yellow eyebrows.
Oh, so he's basically some sort of macaroni penguin.
You could say in a way, yes. But yeah, Clancy's performance, even the character was like, wow. I gave Clancy's performance an 8 out of 10.
Alright, I'll take your word for it, even though I never saw this character.
Fish, would you like to talk about Kevin McDonald?
Yeah, Kevin playing Barry the poison dart frog. Yeah, this kind of differs towards other characters that would be considered like either meek or hammy or anywhere else. Yeah, it's interesting for him to take a turn as some quote-unquote bully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, using that power of poison against them, but damn. For Kevin's performance, I give it a 6 out of 10, no offense.
Well, couldn't agree.
I'll agree with your score.
I mean, similar to Baxter from Back at the Barnyard.
Yo, exactly. Yo, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, but along with the show, there was a lot of guest stars, like the badges I explained earlier. Stacy and Becky, voiced by Victoria Justice and Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh! I was wondering why Janet McCurdy was one of them.
So yeah, basically they play these sisters, Stacy and Becky, and they just want to make new friends, and Marlene was one of them. At first, Marlene was so happy, making friends, considering them as sisters, but they were going all wild on her. Until Marlene turned all wild when she went to the outside room, then making them apologize to the penguins. Wow.
Let's see, other iCarly stars were there, like Nathan Kress and Jerry Traynor.
Yeah, Nathan Kress, yeah, the guy, yeah, the boy I was explaining earlier with the notebook, yeah, that was really surprising. And with Jerry's character, what did he play again?
He was a cockroach leader.
Yes. I only saw the commercial of the guest stars, but I didn't really see the episode in particular.
Yeah, neither did I.
But I was really surprised who played Santa Claus. You ever heard of an actor named Carl Wiener?
Yes. Wait a second. Oh yeah, wait. I'm pretty sure that he did play like Santa also in Merry Madagascar. It's the same guy.
Yeah, you're right.
And he died in 2020.
The other media that you could recognize him was like he was in Toy Story 4, where he plays a character that was parody of him, where he plays Carl the rhinoceros.
That's actually pretty clever.
Because in Toy Story 4, they brought the classic actors, to voice parodies of these characters. Like there is Mel Brooks and Betty White.
Yep. If I could find them. Oh, okay. There's Altar, which is a quick brain. Altar is Alan Oppenheimer. Betty White is Betty White. Cheryl Burnett as Carol Burnett. Of course, we mentioned the rhinoceros. I don't see Mel Brooks.
Oh, jeez. Maybe they credit. That's alright. But I give him a Santa a 10 out of 10. It was a good Christmas special.
Yes, and may he rest in peace.
Exactly. Alright, next up. Oh, notice his sister voicing. Yes, with Alex Lyon, it was Wally Wiggers. Yeah, surprisingly, chopping down like Minister's voice. I like that.
Same here.
Yeah. But of course, not his first time voicing Alex, of course, in the video games. It was him along with Chris Freeman voicing Alex, but I just prefer Wally's version of, interpreting, Ben Stiller's version.
Cool.
Let's see here. There's also Jim Cummings playing minor roles here and there. There was also Card Waldron.
Oh, there was Kristen Shaw.
Hmm?
There was Kristen Shaw. She was there.
Right. Would you like to explain?
I'm like, she just played these like 3 bunnies.
Buffy, Fluffy, and Muffy.
And I just gotta say, that was just one of the more surprising roles that I've ever heard her play, because it just sounds like she used a different voice.
Could be, yes. Let's see here. Yeah. What was I about to mention? I just passed to. Oh yeah, Rob Paulson was also the show that Raccoon I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
It was pretty cool, especially the accents. Let's see. And that's about it from the cast. I know there's many others, but I gotta say, this was a max cast, bringing guest stars, notable voice actors. It was really nice.
I mean, like, well, you're gonna see like them being stacked up, but like, I'll work it out.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. Yeah, this has to be like one of the best shows originating from a movie. It has to be like out of all the movies that originate from shows, which one has to be your favorite?
Well, technically it is a spin-off, so there's that, just to get out the way. I mean, you should know that.
Oh yes, but other than the Penguin Madagascar show, what other shows do you like from that originated from movies?
Well, there's also the one on Netflix called All Hail King Julian.
Okay, yes, I did see a little bit of that show. This giving King Julian his own spin-off here and there, but I liked it. But I gotta say, I said again, one of the best Nickelodeon shows. I give it an Infinity. It was one of the best, from Nickelodeon by far.
Agreed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say it was also because of the commercials too. When they'd be next up is Penguins in Madagascar, and they would show the penguins doing some stuff here and there.
Cool.
And you first?
Yeah, I was glad that I have a chance to just regain once again the memories. It was really worth it.
And we're off.